November 21st, 3 days ago. This is Joe Biden celebrating his birthday party. Not wearing masks, people. Not wearing masks. I can't believe this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Okay, we get it. Your new president right there, ladies and germs. Maybe. It's looking more like it. I don't know, man. You know, I keep up with all different kinds of news stories, but I don't try to just stick with one thing, and certainly never get stuck in that whole the show going on with the election. But we'll see. You know, if you do, it's going to give you a heart attack, raise your blood pressure. I wouldn't recommend it. And so much of it is fabricated anyway, so it's hard to really know what's what. So just ride it out. We'll see. You know, it seems to change day to day.
Ride it out. The Christian voice. Ride it out. So, here we go. I said I was going to clarify this, so I'll just quickly... Babylon. The 7 heads are possibly the 7 mountains, which is the ecumenical church. The 7 kings, 5 have fallen. So we start with 6, Trump. 1 is Biden, is the 7th, and the other is not yet come, but will continue for a short space. That's 7. 8, Obama, and it says, the beast that was and is not, and is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and he goeth into perdition. So I don't recommend you just write it out. I recommend you seek the Lord. And yeah, it's politics, but God's obviously political because he put it in the end time book. So noticed that when Babylon is, the whore of Babylon is described riding a beast, he is riding a beast, she is riding a beast that was, that is not, and is. Just like Obama is described as the beast, this is the beast that was and is not, and is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and he goeth into perdition. So the 7th is Biden. He's not yet to come. You can see him and around the corner, and he'll only continue a short space. And then we have our Antichrist. So let's not write it out. Let's actually do due diligence, and we're not going to perish through lack of ignorance. We need to know this. Yeah, and I think on the next page I had a revelation. Wait, I say, communist invasion. My communist invasion dream. So when I woke up from that dream, I had 2 visions. The first one was, well, when the timing was that it was New Year that I saw the bombs coming down. I've gone over it a lot, but when I woke up, I had 2 visions. The second vision was this. There was a lake. I was looking down at a lake, and I saw 3 kings. They were dressed with crowns, each had crowns, and they were wearing red gowns with white trim. And there was definitely one in charge talking to the 2. Now, I've been just throwing it out about Christmas, your feast days, and Gary was there and he said, so you said they were dressed like Santa, maybe it's pointing to Christmas. So these three kings, I see them dressed like Santa, but they have crowns on their head. Anyway, they mount their horses and they ride. Now, one in the front, I zoom in on the horse's head and I see flaming foxes in the fire. There's a fire coming off its nose. So what I've written here is that I believe that first one is Trump. Now think about Trump, the ecumenical church, the Pope, the Jews, the Noahide, the Seven Mountains. Think of that one riding first, because it is. And the scripture that about the little foxes that ruin the nest, they spoil the nest. That's what's happening to the church, the ones that trust in man and don't trust in God. We know that the first king was Trump, next is Biden, and then Obama. So is it all coming to pass over New Year? The bear that I saw first. So the vision I had first was a bear, his paws went clump, and I saw all four paws in his hind. That first bear was coming around the city. He attacks the great city. Because all three kings ride, but they're in order. Three kings. And they're described as being of one mind, with the strength, with their strength going to the beast. So that's what these kings are described as. Makes sense. Now that we know that Trump is doubled down with the Scorpion King. He's the decoy. Biden doesn't even need an explanation. He's like a puppet under Obama. He always has been. Revelation 17:14, and they make war with the Lamb, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And they that are with him are called faithful and chosen. So the whore that sits on the waters, a multitude, all nation tongues, is America. In 16, the 10 horns are the nations that hate America, and they consume her and burn her with fire. Could that be coming now that we see all three kings riding? The whore is a woman, and it is America who reigns now. So she hasn't fallen yet, has she? She has an attitude. I am a queen, and I am no widow, and I shall see no sorrow. Very arrogant. She's without need of anyone. She's confident. One day she will see death, mourning, famine, and be burnt by fire, judged. And the merchants in 11, they have nothing to buy off her. And there's a list of things that they used to buy off her commodities. And it includes the souls of men, the human trafficking and the immorality that came from the whore of Babylon, the souls of men. 19 and 20, the world mourns for her. Of course we will. But guess what happens in heaven? Guess what happens with the apostles and the prophets? They will rejoice. And I've just put, wow. Those that know the will of God Will the Lord bring me to a place where I will rejoice to see the downfall of America, Babylon? Will I be in a place where I agree that the Lord is a righteous judge? I will be. I will be by the grace of God. I just want to show you one other thing. And you might think, well, why are we even bothering to think of what astrologers say and think? Well, the Lord thought it worthwhile to put the astrology into the Bible. Did not the astrologers, the kings, seek out the star? Have a listen.
Oh, there it is. The Great Conjunction in the Age of Aquarius. People have been talking and singing about the dawning of the Age of Aquarius for decades now, and many astrologers believe that the monumental Great Conjunction taking place on December 21st, 2020 is the cosmic event that's officially heralding it in. On that date, the two largest planets in the solar system, Jupiter and Saturn, excuse me one second.
He goes away to do the heater. Can you read that?
Okay, sorry. There's a storm out, so I opened the doors, the back doors, and then my forgot my heater was on, so really important stuff. But anyway, so sorry about that. So both Jupiter and Saturn represent social issues in our lives and relate to authority and leadership, and they only form a conjunction aspect every couple decades. When they do, it's a big deal, which is why it's known as the Great Conjunction. This is the standout cosmic event of the latter half of 2020. Anyway, I won't read all the rest of this here. It says this: in December of 2020, we're in for the beginning of a new age, as Saturn and Jupiter will be aligning in the sign of Aquarius. There you go. This alignment is so significant because it means we'll continue to have these two planets come together in air signs until 2059. So I'm not going to read all the rest.
This is the day of Aquarius. Day of Aquarius. Aquarius. So we're familiar with that song, even though I sang it badly. And I have been on a gold trail. And it goes back to the unicorn. Did you know that? So the unicorn is replacing Jesus Christ in the Bible. So when you see it and Jesus is described as a unicorn, you have to flip it back. You have to know that it's not Jesus. The unicorn is symbolic of their Messiah, the Age of Aquarius. You can do your homework on that one. Okay, I'll just leave it at that.